Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Killer Conversations. Today on this episode, we'll be talking about the Tommy Ballard case. I'm behind the camera, your host, Mia, and then we have in front of the camera,
Aiden,
Emma,
and Ryan.
And we're going to be doing a Q&A on this murder. Tommy Ballard was a respected man in his community, very successful, and is connected to a lot of other cases. For example, his daughter went missing and was just now found, and people were convicted of it being a murder. So there's a lot of information and a lot of connections with the case. So there's a lot of questions to be answered, and that's what we're doing today. So let's get started with our first question.
all right. How is Tommy Ballard case connected to these other cases?
Ryan, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Well, first, there's his missing daughter.
Crystal Rogers.
Yep, Crystal Rogers, who went missing, and apparently he possibly found information that he was getting close to solving the case, so there's a chance, well, he could have been killed because he knew too much.
And it was a very tight-knit community. So the likeliness of all these murders, such as Jason Ellis, Kathy and Samantha Netherlands in Bardstown town, it's just, there's too much connection. There's too little time and too much going on for it to not all be connected in some way.
Yeah.
People had to know what was going on, and there's definitely some type of connection.
Yeah. Do you think Samantha and Kathy Netherland were truly connected?
I think that is a good conspiracy to keep in mind, but personally, I really don't think that they were connected. And if they were, I have a feeling it was just like anger that was unleashed. But there's also a possibility that it could have been gang related, like gang initiation. But regardless of the case, whether they are or not connected, they really died a gruesome death, and it was really unfair.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is gang related, or do you think this was really the Houck brothers?
I think possibly it was both, because the way that they were killed was like very gruesome and it shows signs of gang related. But also I think the Houck brothers might have played a part into it because, they're psychopaths and they just probably wanted to go on a killing spree.
Completely true. And if they were associated possibly with a gang, like if they were giving out information, the likeliness of them having to kill somebody for gang initiation is very true. But I don't know. I just think that it was just a bit much. Their murder was a lot, and it seemed very, very personal.
And plus, the Houck brothers were selling weapons with the false name.
They had their toes in some sand that they shouldn't have been in.
Mm-hmm.
Brother.
Yep. Why do you think Tommy was murdered?
Going back to like the first question on how they're connected, I think he knew too much about his daughter. Like, he was finding out some information. Like, he had communities open on like Facebook, which are still available today. But he just was very committed to finding his daughter and figuring out what happened to her, as any father should be. He was just a caring man and really wanted to know more and find his daughter because he loved her so much. So I think he was murdered because of that. Unfortunately, he just knew a little bit of too much, and he was really onto something.
And they were just cutting ties loose, That's why they probably had to kill him, because he probably did find something out about his daughter. And I think that the daughter's killer might have killed the dad too. Possibility might have killed the dad too.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Why do you think that Samantha and Kathy's murder were so gruesome?
I think it was so gruesome because somebody probably they took it way too far, or there's no way it could be revenge because the mom and the daughter were just so loved by their community. The mom was a special ed teacher and the daughter was still in high school. I think that the person that did commit the murder on them two definitely took it way too far, and in the conclusion, they shouldn't have even done it in the first place because, like I said, the mom and the daughter was loved by the community, and yeah.
Yeah. Kathy was a special ed teacher, and Samantha was a high school student. I hate to say it, but if it was a gang initiation and they needed an easy target, unfortunately, they were pretty loved and just two women. But I feel like it was very gruesome. Like, I just think someone got carried away. Because you have to be on a certain level of insanity to kill someone in the first place. So
Especially to do it the way they did it. They almost beheaded the daughter. The daughter's head was literally hanging on by the nerves.
Yeah, I think it just got carried away. And I mean, there's a couple like conspiracies out there that there are people that wanted them dead or had beef with them, but not necessarily anything that I would say needed that much revenge.
Anything to say, Ryan?
Nope.
What was so strange about Jason Ellis's ambushing?
The way that it was set up, they took branches from another like city or town and brought them over and put it in the middle of the road on where he patrols, and just the way it was set up, like he was in like a dense populated with woods, and the way he was just like he got out of his car to move the branches like any cop would, and a bunch of people just popped out and shot him and killed him for no reason. I also think he was on to finding something about Crystal Rogers, and that's another reason why he was killed.
I think there's a lot of people that he was getting information from people in the jail, and he found a lot of connections. He knew a lot of things, which unfortunately we don't really know, and it isn't really released what he did all know. But he was shot in the arm, the side, the neck, the head. There was a lot of people involved to get from all these different angles the autopsy showed. And it was somebody that knew that he was going to not have his canine, not going to have his companion.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was using a different police car at the same time, and it had no dash camera, so we don't have any footage of what happened. So someone knew that he was going to be without his canine, going to be without a dash camera, and he never got a chance to fight back. His gun wasn't even drawn.
Yep.
So they knew like swiftly to take him out, and they knew where he was going to be, what he was going to be doing, and they knew he was a good person, and he was going to move those branches. So, and again, I think it was like cutting loose ends. Like they had to just kill all these people. And the inmate that was giving out information said that the people that killed Jason Ellis were also loose ends that are tied up. So even if you wanted to find those people that ambushed him, they're gone too. So it's really sick that we can't really find out a lot of information, but it is good and reassuring to know that at least the Houck brothers are being convicted of their part in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, what do you guys all think really happened?
I think that the person who killed Crystal Rogers, which was her boyfriend, which was convicted on July 10th, 2025, I think maybe he might have killed Tommy Ballard because Tommy was close on finding out who did it, what happened to his daughter. I think maybe the boyfriend might have, Crystal and the boyfriend were arguing one night and she dumped him possibly, and he was like, nah, if I can't have you, nobody can, type of stuff. So he definitely probably took that out and murdered her and probably kidnapped her and did terrible things. I think that Tommy was on to something. He was like, know what? You're next. You can't find out.
Yeah, it's very tragic too to have things like this happen, because she was a mother and she was a daughter and she was a friend to many people and a good person in our community, or this community, and Bardstown. So I I think overall that the Halk brothers, because one of them is a retired cop, I think they were giving out information and they got connected to things that they shouldn't have been connected to. And it just got carried away to the point where, like, violence was really their only answer to not get caught. And fortunately enough, they ended up getting caught. So I just wish that technically these are still, like, parts of this is still cold cases, but I really do think that the Halk brothers were, like, invested in all these cases. So whether it's labeled as they got justice or not, these families really did get parts of justice because the Halk brothers were convicted. But it just sucks to be in a family and, like, to know that you lost these people and there's no, like, you can't pin it on somebody. Like, you know that they did it, but you cannot pin it on them because there's not enough information.
Ryan, got anything to say?
Yeah, I think it's the Houck brothers because, well, the ex-police was selling guns that the police had with a false name, so that's sketchy. So,
Yeah.
and the gun that killed Tommy Ballard was one of the guns that was sold to him by the police, one of the Houck brothers. So,
Oh, yeah, for sure. They were just definitely involved in stuff and trying to make their ends meet in this involvement, and it just didn't work out for them.
mm-hmm.
So, which rightfully so, because it's truly sick that to take the life of someone that you loved. Like, that was his a long-term relationship of a girlfriend that he decided to take her life. So, with that being said, that's really all we have for this. Like with any case, if you see something, if you heard something, say something. Because information on all of these cases can still help pinpoint it on somebody, regardless on if it's the Houck brothers or if you have an idea if it's not. But yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.